Hey, good morning. So there was an update for No One Survived 0.0.8.1, which introduced the pain system. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about and show you that I have figured out after playing for about an hour and a half. I went around and fought some zombies. Uh, I'm going to try and insert some clips of a couple different things that happened while I was still trying to figure out how things worked. Let's go play with the big boy. Supposedly he's a lot easier to kill. I will be the judge of that. But I want to get walloped by him once. So let's go find him. I want him to give us one good wallop. There he is. We'll poke this one first. Okay, wallop me, big boy. Thank you. Four, five. Oh, yeah. Okay, before that took all 12 shots. Now it only takes 8. I say that he is definitely easier to kill. He didn't do that much damage and he didn't give us any kind of injury. Okay, Boban, let's see what you can do. He touched us. Touched us. Touched us a couple times. We're not bleeding. I am wearing military clothes, so I think that scratch resistance is going to play a huge part in this. Okay. You can't kill us, though, because I haven't made a respawn point. Alright, give me your teeth. I changed my clothing, and I still am not able to get any kind of infection or anything, so I'm going to go Nikki. And hopefully a runner will come out. Perfect. So I have no armor. I have 0 scratch resistance. So let's see what she can do. I'm going to punch her first to get her all riled up. My health's going to go down a lot faster. We're not bleeding. There's nothing happening to our character. Oh, we're bleeding now. We are going to take care of that bleed. Let's take a look at our girl. Ooh, so we have mild trauma. So we have... Can we use this medical kit? Let's see. Yes, that took care of our bleeding, but did not heal us in the same way that it used to. Okay, we are feeling cold. There's the symbol up there that we are cold. That is hypothermia. So we have that. What is that affecting? Okay, it shows here we have hypothermia. That is hurting our health. Our health is going down. Not rapidly, gradually. Pretty gradually. And our mood is starting to go down as well. So these are the things we have for that. I'm going to start with the cold medicine. Let's see what that does. That does anything? No. Let's try... Doesn't say by how much. Let's try the warming agent. That took care of it. Let's put that on. Let's try to get some heat stroke in there. There we go. There is the heat stroke icon. And we're getting the flashing around the screen like we're used to. So for heat stroke, we can do these two. Antipyretic and antispasmodic. Treats heat cramps and heat stroke. So this is a heat cramp. Okay. So we are fatigued. Our mood's going down. Our hygiene's going down. Our health is going down. Let's take antipyretic and see. That has not helped our heat cramps. That's right. Let's take this one. This one helps our heat cramps. So the injury system, the pain system, pretty typical for what you've seen in some other games. You have, you know, your muscular, skeletal character here. So your status effects are going to show up right here. It'll say if you have hypothermia. It'll say if you have mild trauma. It will highlight what that trauma is to your body. If you carry something over, it will show you, it'll highlight it. So if you have yellow, it's mild trauma. If you have red in a body part, it's severe trauma. And that's going to, is this done yet? It's almost done. Anywho, that's going to indicate to you what level of medicine you're going to need. So we have a lot of different things. We have some gauze and we have some bandages. So I'm going to pull all of these down here real quick. So the bandages stack to 3. These advanced medical kits only stack to 2, which is curious. Your bandages still take just fabric to create. And others are going to take fabric and alcohol. As far as what you can craft on you, it's going to be these 2 items here. And you're going to need alcohol and fabric. So you could carry around a stack of fabric and a couple bottles of alcohol. I'll show you. So you have alcohol swabs, 1 fabric, 1 alcohol. And that's this item here. Treat minor wounds, minor infected wounds. For moderate wounds, moderate infected wounds, bleeding reduced by 50%. So if it's minor, it'll treat the whole thing. If it's moderate, it will reduce by 50%. So your stat decrease over here is going to reduce by 50%. The reduction of it will reduce by 50%, if that makes sense. Anywho. You also have this bandage. So this one, treat minor wounds for moderate bleeding wounds, bleeding reduced by 50%. So for the other bandages that you can craft in the advanced medical lab here, these ones are going to be better. They treat 80%. So those ones you can't craft on you, but I will show you. These alcohol swabs take a long time to craft. Do not expect to craft them as quickly as you would a bandage more recently. It's only 1 fabric, so it's not bad. 1 fabric, 1 alcohol. Very doable. You can easily get those supplies and literally any POI. Those types of things can be found. Fabric you can get off killing zombies, so it's not an issue at all there. As far as availability. So I would recommend for these things, I say carry some amount of fabric on you, at least 3, and 1 alcohol. Or carry a stack of the bandages and the alcohol swabs. If you don't want to carry alcohol on you or you don't have it available to you, I would just go with the bandages. It's just 1 fabric. Obviously, the alcohol swabs are going to be better because they treat multiple items. That's what we're looking for here is what do you want to carry on you? This is so much stuff. Like, this is my whole top part of my inventory and more. And I've already got to carry a lot of things. I wanted to wait for this coffee to go bad so I could show you what the food poisoning looks like. The dysentery and what I use to treat that, and then I'm also gonna chop some trees and exert myself and show you what the muscle weakness looks like, which is a curious one. So for each category you have a lot of different things that are going to treat bleeding. This skin adhesive also treats bleeding. You have stamina, so let's put all those together. Well, I have mental state, This is virus infection. This one is virus infection. Okay, so for what I'd recommend that you carry in your backpack, these are up here. Most of these things are going to be redundant. I guess it depends on what you have available for you as far as bandages go and med kits go and, you know, any of these other things. If it's available to you and it treats something that you're likely to get, then carry it. But I would say carry things that treat more than one thing or are more effective. I haven't found that anything is typically rare yet. We'll see. I've only played on abundant and very abundant settings just to try it out. But the St. John Swart is mood plus 60 instantly. It takes medicinal herbs to learn. It takes medicinal herbs to make. And rotten food. 5 rotten food and 3 medicinal herbs. You could easily get that looting one place and then walking around the outside of it to make in this regular medical lab. So those stack to 3. So I'd carry those or leave them in your mood box. You could take them when you're reading, doing your book learning. The other thing would be these nutritional supplements. So these treat general weakness, muscle atrophy, and hyperglycemia, which can occur from doing things like chopping wood or smashing rocks and being like dehydrated and having no carbs and no food. That will help. Next thing is going to be antispasmodic, which treats heat cramps and heat stroke. So normally when it's summertime and you've got all your military gear on, the outside of the screen will flash. It'll say feeling heat over here. That is now a heat cramp, a symptom that you'll feel. And then as it gets worse and your mood goes down and your fatigue is all the way down, your hygiene's all the way down, your health starts going down, eventually you'll get heat stroke. So that treats both of those. So a stack of those on you. We also have dysentery medicine. This treats cholera and dysentery. So drinking this coffee should give me one of those, right? It's water, it's bad water. I got dysentery. So this medicine will treat when you eat bad food or when you drink seawater or unclean water. So I would carry a stack of those on you. Those stack to 3. So I made a canteen because I wanted to see if we drink some dirty rainwater, if we can get cholera. Right now, dirty water is giving a delicious food buff. Yep. So that's something that is going to have to be fixed. Anyway, if we use the dysentery medication, it will get rid of that dysentery status effect. The next thing is going to be something to treat wounds. So any of these shots you can use regardless of if there's any trauma to your player, your character there. The healing patches and ointments and medical kits have to be dragged and dropped onto that character when there is a trauma, onto that on here when there is trauma showing on your character's body. Some of these things can be right mouse button and used. These ones are the main. Everything else has to be, like when it has to be applied, actually applied to your body, then you have to drag and drop it. But I would recommend going with the skin adhesive. Minor and moderate wounds. For severe wounds, bleeding reduced by 80%. These stack to 3. They're small. If you can find them and carry them, I recommend having those. Otherwise, the deep wound cleanser is all external injuries. So any type of injury that you have, that will take care of it. If you're a bandage and medical kit person, I would just say go bandage and alcohol swabs. Alcohol swabs going to be minor infected, moderate, and moderate infected, and bleeding. And the bandage is going to give you minor, moderate bleeding, and bleeding reduced by 50. And you can craft both of those on player with just fabric and alcohol, like I said earlier. So any one of those. It depends on which one you want to carry. It's up to you. Next, you have the hypothermia and cold. So you can be feeling cold, and you can also have where, I changed it to winter, but you can also have where you are so cold your mood's going down, your health's going down, your fatigue's going down. This is another one that's going to treat multiple things. So I would carry that in the winter. Obviously, you don't need it in the summer. You could leave it in your vehicle with all your teeth and your extra supplies, whatever, in your go bag. As far as other ones that treat hypothermia, I think there is one more. Let me find it. Oh, maybe that's it. Anywho, we have, obviously you have the St. John's wort. If you're going to be dying a lot, that's a good one to carry. You can also carry these sedative pills. So the 0.25 over 120 seconds is going to give you 60 mood points restored. If you use these sedatives where it's 0.5 over 120, you're going to get 60 points restored. Those are just the other options for that. Obviously, if you're, if it's really low and you're on the go, or if you're doing a bunch of book learning and you don't want to really stop what you're doing, you could just pop one of these and continue walking. These shots you can use while you're walking, running, whatever. The next one's going to be the health and virus infection. So like I said, if you lose health points and you don't have any trauma to your character here, then you're not going to be able to restore your health points. The best way I found to restore your health points right now is sleeping. So I would recommend using these shots. So this is going to be your best one, Cell Regeneration Hemostatic Agent. It's health plus 65. It also gives you antibodies, which a lot of these other things are going to reduce your antibodies. Let me see. I can find one real quick. Yep, here's one. The sedative, minus 30. So when you're taking a bunch of medicines, some of them might reduce your antibodies. So if you need to heal and your antibodies are down, if this reaches 0, you're going to die. So I would be aware of that. But this Cell Regeneration Hemostatic Agent is going to be the best healing item right now, especially because you don't need to have any trauma to your body. You can use it while you're running away. It's just, that's going to be the one. Next best is probably going to be this antiviral serum or this infection suppressing hemostatic agent. They have the best stats and they both restore health and virus infection after use. Okay, the next one's going to be penicillin, which you would think would be kind of cheap to make, but it's not. A lot of these take fermented alcohol to make, so I'm assuming because they're on the low end as far as these go for what it offers, they're probably going to be more common. It's yet to be seen, so maybe penicillin is your way to go. You can pop multiple of these and go from there. You have virus blocker, which does the same thing as those other ones, as well as this antidote coagulant X. It's 20 and 20. And then moving on to adrenaline. This is the new adrenaline shot. So it does plus 15 stamina recovery for 150 seconds, significantly restores stamina over time. You also have a stimulant. So this is like your doping is now a stimulant, whereas we have these here. We have cold medicine, which treats cold, which we don't need because a warming agent treats that and hypothermia. But this is like the new bottle of doping, as is the stimulant. So stamina plus 60, duration 120. It does what it says it does. I think probably I would go for the shot, just because if you're running and you need more adrenaline, you're going to want to be able to use that on the go. But this worked just fine. It makes your stamina bar go from like over here to like way over here. So I think that would be the bare minimum to cover everything and have a couple of backups. Like you don't necessarily need those, so you could reduce that. Let's see, if I move everything all up nice and tidy, that's how much space it takes. If we add those back, that's not bad at all, to be honest. I think that's pretty decent. If you keep these stacks full of whatever you need for that specific time, obviously a lot of this stuff, you're not going to need the hypothermia and cold in the summer or in the winter. No, you will need it in the winter. You won't need it in the summer. You're not going to need the St. John's wort if you're not learning anything. You're not going to need these nutritional supplements unless you're doing hard labor or you don't have food on you. Cramps and heat stroke, you're not going to need in spring, winter, or fall. So if I keep this stuff on me just for summer and fall, that's honestly, that's the same amount of space that the medical kit takes up and the old bandages take up. And then you would have had, you know, probably, I always carried an ointment and then a shot on me too. So that would have been another 4 squares that were taken up. So it takes up less space. So it's not the worst. I do want to show what some of these other things require to bake. So a lot of it's fabric and alcohol, medicinal herbs. You have some that take gauze, which you have to make with fabric, which is not a problem. This takes a copper ingot, the suture kit. Some of them take pathogen. Some are going to take fermented alcohol, which might be an issue for you if you're not growing a lot of wheat. Some of them are very expensive. Like this one, 5 fermented alcohol is very, very expensive. So these cell regeneration hemostatic agents are not actually craftable as far as I can tell. You'll have to find them out looting. So in that case, this infection suppressing hemostatic agent might be your best bet. If you don't have any of those. To make them, it is 5 pathogen and 5 fermented alcohol, which I'm saying is very expensive. But if you have the resources, that's going to probably be your second best one. Otherwise, you have to get out there and get looting or find another alternative, or maybe carry 2 things for the health and virus infection. Because obviously 65 and 40 health is the best one that, you know, we're able to find right now. Anywho, pathogen, alcohol, fermented alcohol, herbs, got rotten food in there. That's, you know, the normal stuff that all of this took before. Some of it's going to require other items to be made. Let's see. This deep wound cleanser takes a skin adhesive, which is 1 pathogen, 1 herb, and 5 carrots. So you're definitely going to have to be growing carrots and wheat. I recommend carrying this one. Treats all external injuries. It's going to be, it takes up 2 squares. That's not terrible. But the ones with fermented alcohol are going to be a little bit difficult. So I've been able to find quite a bit out there. I looted the medical clinic and I was able to find a good chunk of stuff. So, well, yeah, mostly rotten food and medicinal herbs. That St. John's wort that restores mindset is 8 medicinal herbs. I think there's a couple of different spawn points on the map where you can get that, and it's mood plus 60, which is better than the cigarettes. And that's normally the go-to for fixing your mood anyway. I have been chopping trees, and my stats have diminished quite a bit, and now I have muscle atrophy, which is another symbol we can add to the list of what the hell is that. So for muscle atrophy, we have one that I put back in there because I didn't think I needed it right now. So that's going to be this one, the nutritional supplements. That's one of the ones I recommend you carry on you. So if we use that, that gets rid of that, but we need to eat and drink to take care of that. Otherwise it will come back. It can also get general weakness. I haven't been able to procure that infliction yet. Okay, so I'm by this little hospital here, D4. There are a couple of zombies coming for me. Light work of them. We're gonna get... I saw a dog too, I don't know where he went. We'll get this guy too. And I guess him. Here comes that dog. He's running that way. I don't want to let that dog out of my sight. Did we get any trauma? No. No kinds of wounds. There's that dog. Okay. Let's grab a book. Should be able to find some in here. Okay, there we go. Got some books. What do I got in this one? Cell regeneration hemostatic agent. That's the good one. Advanced medical kit and a bandage. That's decent. What else do we have in here? And I'm on very abundant loot. Oh, lots of good stuff. Very good stuff. So, bandage, warming agent. Yeah, warming agent seems to be pretty common. Finding that cell regeneration hemostatic agent is honestly great. That's the one that I would recommend carrying on you. And then look, cell regeneration hemostatic agent, a whole bunch of them. So that was a really good loot haul. So the last thing that I want to try and recreate is the restore mindset. I mean, there's a couple other ones that I haven't been able to figure out, but as soon as I can recreate them, I will. I'm just going to go ahead and read some Agriculture 1 here. We have the sad face. But it's going back up. The sad face went away. There it is. Depression. Okay, and for that, we have what? Sedative. Restores mental state over time. And that's all we have on us right now is that one. But it's minus 30 antibodies. So, I would recommend carrying that St. John's wort with you. That might be your best bet. But I'll show you what... I already lost it. There it is. I'll show you what that one looks like. See? You can run around, do whatever you want while you're taking that. And then that pops up there. And that says sedative. So it shows you what you've taken. At least when you hover over it, it gives you some kind of thing. We're already at 29. So that's 6-7 points. Just in 8 points in the time that I've been talking. 9 points. So it's going up pretty fast. So that one's pretty efficient. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of status updates. I'm gonna make some graphics. I'm gonna make kind of like a cheat sheet for what does what has the best stats, what I've found the most of, kind of thing. And hopefully that's helpful. I'm gonna post it in my Discord, and I'll probably post it in the No One Survived Discord. Maybe if I can keep doing science and figure out what hurts, I can make a guide to this new pain system or something in Steam for you guys. But man, what a wild update. Obviously this one is all about the pain system, and there were some other things that were added in the 0.0.8.1, some optimization things. I'm going to do another video to cover those, so that should be out pretty soon. If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will do my best to find out and get back to you. Otherwise, I will admit defeat and try to point you in the right direction. Yeah, but that's it for the pain system, for everything that I know, everything that I recommend doing based on what I know so far. If there's anything that I said wrong, please correct me. I'd appreciate it. Or if you have a really weird experience with some kind of new status effect with this new injury pain system, let me know that too. That's really cool. But I'm going to leave this one here. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.